What's going on, y'all? Harry from Harry the Horse Barbecue here, and in this one, I am not horsing around with these Weber Kettle baby back ribs. We're gonna season up some baby back ribs in a unique style, smoke them off on the Weber Kettle so they build an amazing bark and smoke flavor, and then we'll slice on into the easiest baby back ribs you could ever make in your backyard. Looking to master a backyard barbecue staple? Well, the horse has got your back. Let's get it.
Harry the Horse Barbecue.
Well, I'm just like most people who want their baby back ribs with barbecue sauce. Shout out Chili's. So let's go grab some. Let's go. Those be some baby back ribs. Picked these up at Costco a while back, but enough horsing around, let's get them out of the pack. Ow. But before we do, we gotta make a rub. And this rub is gonna be way different than most other rib rubs. A full part of kosher salt, about a half a part of white pepper, about a half a part of granulated sugar for a little bit of sweetness and no clumping, about a half a part of granulated garlic, quarter part of paprika, quarter part of granulated onion, a quarter part of oregano, and a quarter part of dried thyme. Really unique, really interesting, and I'm definitely not going for that classic Texas style rib today. And I think baby back ribs are a great type of rib to experiment with because this is a cut from the loin area of the pig, meaning that there's less fat, so a little less flavor, but these have been a classic barbecue staple for most backyard barbecue cooks for the longest time. And these ribs really give us an opportunity to break away from the classic salt, pepper, garlic, try something new, and they're always gonna come out good. So let's season these up. So what I'm actually gonna be doing today, because Costco sell these in packs of 3, I'm only gonna be cooking up one of these racks on the Weber Kettle, and these other 2 racks, I'm gonna save for a little bit of a trial cook for a different video. And this is the one we will be working with, because I think it's the biggest and the meatiest. There we go. So we'll give these a bit of a pat down. There's no trim to be done on these. This rack is looking pretty good. Some decent marbling in there, which is a welcome sight. No shiners on here. Pretty much everything we're wanting in a baby back. Looks like the membrane has been removed. So all we're doing is going right over the backside with this homemade rub. Get a decent coating on there too. We don't need to be afraid of over seasoning these ribs. We're looking for bark formation. We're looking for flavor. We're looking for that rub to penetrate through to season these slightly meaty baby back ribs. That white pepper in this rub, I think Joshua Weissman put this the right way. It smells like hot breath. It smells like someone's breath that's kicking. But other than that, it smells good. Let's give this a flip around. Back over the top. Let's hope that this Weber Kettle can cook off that hot breath smell. This rub is super cool, super unique. It's something different. Baby back ribs give us an awesome opportunity to play around with some different flavor profiles. I think a normal slab of spare ribs has a ton of fat, so you really kind of want to stick with that savory profile, maybe a little bit of sweet here and there. But because these are so lean, you can really lean into sort of that Memphis style or any kind of style you want. This is a very versatile cut of meat. Voila, those look great. We're gonna let that rub sweat in for about 15 minutes, let that salt penetrate in, let those sugars go to work, and let all those other savory flavors get nice and acquainted while we fire up the cooker. So let's go do that. Cooking on this vintage Weber Kettle yet again in the rain. She'll be okay though. Fogo. Oh Lord, no, this is way too big. Couple pieces of cherry again because they're small and tiny. That was a perfect fit. One snake nest right in the corner. Light her up. I said light her up. Let's let that rock out. And after about 10 minutes or so, our snake nest has burnt down and our coals are lit on one side. So at this rate, all we gotta do is close it down. Boom. And we're gonna let the kettle heat up for about 10 minutes before we get those ribs on. Now, because it's wet and rainy and cold, I've got the top vent on the lid completely open, and I've got the primary vent underneath the coal bed all the way open as well. The 2 side vents on this vintage kettle are cracked just a wee bit, just to promote a little extra airflow and to keep those temps rolling, so that way we can push these ribs at about 250 to 300 degrees. So I'm gonna get out of the rain and I'll meet you back when we get these ribs on. Just a couple minutes or so. Come on, you Ben. And just after a few minutes, this kettle's on its way up to about 200 degrees right now. Still a little more to go, but we can get these ribs on, no problem. And these ribs have sweat in beautifully, and that color is looking ridiculous. A little bunch up action. Something about like that should work. And lastly, just a little bit of water in the water pan. because these ribs are really close to the heat source, we don't want to run the risk of burning or crisping up these ribs at a really quick rate. We want these to smoke nice and slow, pick up a ton of good smoke flavor, and prevent getting smoke in your eye. So we'll close this down, and we'll let these baby backs smoke away for the next 3 hours or so, untouched, unseen, because I'm already hungry and I'm craving some baby back ribs, and you know they're not going to be horsing around. See y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all, we're about 3.5 hours in on these baby back ribs. The kettle has been pushing anywhere between 250 and 300. I've peaked a time or two, added a couple chunks of charcoal really quick, and just 1 or 2 little extra chunks of wood. But now I think it's time for us to take a look and see how they're doing. Been steady cruising between that 250, 300 mark, which is nice. Smoke stopped rolling, which is a sign for us to check in. Oh, interesting. A little dark. Remember that granulated sugar we put in that rub? That's the risk you run with a little bit of a sugary rub. But the color overall is not looking too bad here. A little dark. This area here needs a little more color, but that's okay. The caramelization on this end has just been beautiful. That juice is dripping, sort of basting those ribs. Not looking too bad for some baby backs on the kettle. So let's move on to that next phase, which is to head inside and wrap these ribs up in some foil, and we're gonna add a nice barbecue sauce that I just got in the mail from Brad over at Chud's Barbecue. I did pay for it myself, so simmer down, but I think it's gonna pair perfectly, so let's head inside and wrap these ribs up. The aforementioned sauce, which is our beet barbecue sauce from Leroy & Lewis. Pretty classic, a solid barbecue sauce to use on any ribs, but I'm just gonna go down with a wee bit of this barbecue sauce. Oh my God, it's burning my hands. Down with our ribs. That was really hot. Little barbecue sauce down. Spread this out a little bit. And I think I'm gonna do one more thing. And I think because this barbecue sauce is just a little thick, I'm gonna spritz this down with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just to cool off some of those edges. Give a little moisture back to this wrap. Looking nice, nice. Flip her around. Little spritz on the back, then wrap her up. Then we'll take these back outside to the kettle. Right back on. Gotta add a few more coals. Just enough to build some temps back up. I mean, would you use this? I guess so. Nice. Close that down. And I think at this rate, we can just cap her and finish her off. Boom. And at this rate, we're just gonna let this kettle smoke away for about another hour or two. I don't anticipate these ribs taking much longer than that. And if anyone's curious at home why I did not take an internal temp, it's because ribs are one of the only proteins that you really have to train yourself to learn how to cook by feel. You could ballpark the final temps at around 200 degrees or so, but you're really looking for bend, feel, and once you've fully learned how to master the feeling of ribs when they're done, it is the only way to determine when ribs should be pulled off your smoker. Every rack is different, every cooker's different, so learning this feeling is the optimal way to cook ribs. So when I pull these, I will show you guys exactly what I'm looking for, and hopefully we turn out with some beautiful baby backs at the end of this. But anyway, if you've been with me for the last 4 hours cooking these baby backs, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch y'all back when we pull these. And these babies are gonna head back to the cutting board after about 5 hours on that Weber Kettle. And I'm stoked. I went and checked them periodically and they were only wrapped for maybe about an hour, hour and a half, but you can see the flexible nature of these ribs. They don't bend quite like spare ribs do, but they have a nice flex going on, especially in the center. And for anyone at home wondering, I did temp them and they were temping around 200 to 202 degrees internal. So let's finally check these out. Oh man, those are looking good on the backside. And those look fantastic. That's ridiculous. Off of a Weber Kettle, smelling smoky, smelling like beet barbecue sauce. Let's slice in. Give these an upside down flip. Obligatory knife tap, and here we go. Beautifully done, going for pretty much a center cut rib here, and ooh, I wish that wasn't whited out because there's a beautiful pink smoke ring right here. Super tender, they sliced beautifully, looking juicy. These sat for a little while, so that barbecue sauce sort of congealed on me a little bit, but no big deal, that flavor is gonna be popping. Oh baby. In my opinion, some of the most satisfying moments in barbecue, unveiling a brisket, slicing into a brisket, looking at that fatty section, and up there for me is slicing in and biting into a perfectly cooked rib. It's just a sign of success, a testament to all the hard work that went into this, even though I kind of just like peeked at the kettle every once in a while, but goodness gracious, and I'm always blown away by baby backs. They're not overwhelmingly fatty, but when you cook them right and they're tender, you end up with a bone that looks like this. These are so insane. I gotta buy these more. I don't know why I don't. Because I can eat like 6, 7 of them or even more and not hate myself and fall into a food coma. Like this one's done, dude. I was gonna eat one and just walk off camera, but like, goodness gracious. I mean, what you want to clean off the bone. The flavors that are going on in this are just absolutely ridiculous. Again, we've got such clean smoke flavor from that Weber Kettle. And again, I'm blown away at the Weber Kettle, even though I know it's a good rib cooker. Perfectly salted. You're still getting a little bit of that bite from the pepper because we use that white pepper. A little bit of herbs coming through. Tons of earthiness coming from that beef barbecue sauce. Gotta love it. This is just a symphony of flavors that is just playing along so well in a vessel that's not fatty, super meaty. And I don't know what to tell y'all except for stop horsing around and make these already. Thank y'all for tuning into Harry the Horse Barbecue. I really appreciate you checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe for the vibes, hit that like for another Weber Kettle success, and leave a comment down below with how much you love or hate baby backs. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I'm posting new content, and you can follow me on Instagram at Harry the Horse Barbecue. Tag me so I can see what y'all are cooking because y'all inspire these cooks. And with that being said, there's only one more thing, y'all. This one is going straight to the horse's mouth. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.